Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. It is reInvent season and we're Howdy partner. If you haven't seen us before, we're a show on AWS Twitch primarily most of the time, but we've got a special slot with reInvent here. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we do here. The first thing is we are part of the APN, right? Marie, what's the APN? What is that?
Yeah, so thanks, AM. The APN is the AWS Partner Network. So we have a number of partners that help support our customers, are super engaged in their partnership with AWS, and we're grateful to have CloudHealth on with us today.
Yeah, we're here with CloudHealth by VMware. Jason is here with us, and we're going to be talking because the best thing to me about the APN is that, AWS does a lot, but it doesn't do everything, right? And so our partners help fill that gap of the things that we don't do or things that we'll never do, things that, make your life easier by using one of these tools. So let's do a round of introductions. I'm AM Grobelny. I am a developer advocate here at AWS, I guess is my job title now. I don't know what I do, but I've been around AWS for a while now, and I'm one of your hosts today. I'll be on all of these episodes every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on AWS On Air. Marie, who are you?
Yeah, thanks, Anne. So my name is Marie Shimansky. I am an SA here in the partner network. So I work specifically with partners. And so grateful to be on air with you guys today. This is a fun show. So definitely tune in the coming days and weeks ahead. And so I want to introduce Jason. So Jason, if you could just jump in and tell us a little bit about you, and then let's go ahead and dive in and give us a little bit more information on CloudHealth by VMware.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, guys. So my name is Jason Needham. I lead the product cloud security strategy at VMware and CloudHealth specifically, which is really focused on this cloud management space. Been working with Amazon for many years, coming up on 8 in a number of different companies, but was part of a founding team that was purchased by VMware focused on this space. So really excited about reInvent and continuing to partner and work with Amazon and what we're working on together. So thanks for having me.
Nice. So we're going to cover a couple things. One, we're going to learn all about CloudHealth, right? And two, there are just a lot of crazy announcements that just happened, all throughout Andy Jassy's keynote. A lot of things to talk through. We're going to talk through a few of them. Obviously, can't talk through all of them, but some of the ones that we liked and some of the ones that Jason liked. We're going to really get into what CloudHealth can do for you if you are looking for security, right? So if you're looking for a tool to help you monitor and see what's going on in your AWS account, right? So why don't you give us a rundown, quick 5-minute introduction to what CloudHealth can do for me as a dev.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's important to kind of take a step back and say, CloudHealth as a partner, as a premium partner for AWS. So we've been operating inside the public cloud for helping enterprise customers in their cloud transformation journey. So that started along the lines of cost optimization and savings. So still today, CloudHealth manages billions of dollars. I think it's like $10 billion of AWS spend in helping customers to really optimize it. So it is by far and away the market leader for really helping customers get the most out of their infrastructure. And it's a new paradigm, right? And so there's a lot to do. There's a number of compute instance options. There's issues around how you're utilizing those resources. And then there's issues around really different purchasing and billing options. And so a lot of companies find that they can ROI and get a return on investment and really optimize their cloud spend in 3 to 6 months. So it's a really important part of a cloud management strategy. And a second key part of that, which I'm really focused on and we're going to be talking about today, is really this issue of governance and more broadly cloud security. If you think about the fact that the enterprises today are on this massive migration into the cloud. Spending is doubling and tripling. Andy just talked about adding $10 billion of cloud spend in the last year. So as organizations shift a disproportionate amount of their infrastructure in the cloud, every CISO is asking, are we secure? Our environments are changing. And so that's really what the second part of our portfolio, and really probably a lesser known part, but equally important, CloudHealth Secure State is really focused on. It's this real-time intelligence and interconnected monitoring of your cloud environment, and really helping teams get a better view of what their issues are and how to address them.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up security. So obviously it's no secret, security is job zero here at AWS and for many of our customers. So can you tell us a little bit more about what CloudHealth is doing in that area? What's your guys' approach to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So fundamentally, it should be stated that VMware itself is on this journey, right? We have many cloud accounts inside of the major cloud providers. We innovate using these tools and build some different solutions with that. So we're a very large user ourselves. And our security department is on that journey, just like a lot of those enterprises that I mentioned, right? And so we found a couple of things. Number one, cloud accounts grow like bunnies. And so, you have 10, you have 20, you have 100, pretty soon you have thousands of cloud accounts and hundreds of teams making changes all the time into this cloud environment. And it's a really difficult task for security owners that are outmanned. And really, quite frankly, just from a resource and a capacity perspective, when you look at the ratio of developers to security owners, how do you really keep this innovation mindset and the security? It's this gas and the brake that a lot of companies are challenged with. And so with the dynamicism of the cloud, with the number of people making changes in the cloud, with the new way that services are interconnected, it's a super challenging task. And so it demands a new approach in security, and something that takes a continuous monitoring approach of your overall cloud infrastructure. So for many organizations, the transformation that we've been witnessing over the last couple of years, is this foundational layer of posture, right? And so VMware internally has really wrestled with, how do we give people that flexibility, the freedom to innovate, and also have that safety, have the posture, and make sure that we're configured correctly. And I know, no one likes to talk about it, the classic example of open S3 buckets, and Amazon's done a great job of, providing tools and visibility. But the reality is that cloud gives you ultimate freedom and flexibility to interconnect and to configure things in a myriad of ways. And so that creates, a lot of different ways that things can be configured. So job number one for us is to provide a fundamentally richer and different approach for this posture view. And on that, we're building a base for smarter security monitoring that we hope together, we can partner with AWS to continue to help our customers and ourselves be secure in these cloud environments.
It sounds like you sit right around that shared responsibility model that we love to talk about here at AWS.
Yeah, we're right in there. I love that, and I just want to make a comment because, from the enterprise side, what is a shared responsibility? You think about the customer side of the responsibility, as they delegate more control ever to the app owners and DevOps owners and service owners. For the security owner, it's becoming a distributed responsibility model, which is both wonderful and scary. And so it means that security more than ever has to be a team sport, because on the customer side, all the things that sit on their responsibility are being distributed out further and with more velocity and with more options than ever before. And that's how we have all these situations, right? We have, it is as simple as an intern, not knowing what they're doing. It's as simple as inheriting a template, which has implications of configuration that are not fully realized, or even someone leaving your organization that maybe makes a change, hoping that it will be undetected to leave a back door open. All these are things that security and CISOs are very, very concerned with in making sure that they have a lockdown and good practice for governance and guardrails inside the cloud.
Yeah, this has long time been the job of a singular team, right? A security team. But with the shift to cloud, I see a lot of transformation where security becomes everyone's job, right? Not just one team's job.
Yeah, and honestly, it's sorry to interrupt. It's a classic tension. It's always been there, right? It's kind of this issue, this fight between, I like to think of a wall, and like, the app guy's perspective is that or the security guy thinks they just keep getting these issues thrown over the wall. Well, they don't really understand all the context. And on the application side, their first priority is to get functionality out. And so they may not understand all the security implications. So it's definitely been a classic problem that's existed forever between application teams and security teams. It's just now more and more pronounced as each side gets more capability to do things fully.
Yeah, and so as these security teams are diving into their own set of tools, how is CloudHealth by VMware different than some of these security-only vendors that you kind of run across in this space?
Yeah, AWS builds a lot of great security tools, and there are a lot of great security vendors out there. I think customers are faced with they have the options of a lot of different choices. It's noisy out there. I think our approach is different in two key ways. One is, I guess, at a portfolio level, and one is at a product level. So let me just talk about the portfolio first. I think businesses are on this transformation of building a new cloud operating model. And we like to talk about that as a cloud center of excellence. And typically in these larger organizations like VMware, you see teams come together from different disciplines, DevOps and application owners, IT owners, security owners, and they form the center of excellence team to really help lead the organization through this transformational process. So first and foremost, that's our portfolio approach, is to take and help and build a unified set of tools for the cloud center of excellence. And that doesn't mean just security. It means making sure that you have a well-architected application, that you have a well run operations, that you're optimizing your cost, as well as that your security team has the visibility that they need. So I think one of the things that's different in cloud is that we can't continue to operate in these silos. Ask someone in the classic organization, who needs visibility into the cloud context in your cloud application. No one puts their hand down, right? And so our desire is to build a data lake that really enables the cloud center of excellence and feeds these different application owners and identities from the same song sheet to give them the data they need to make the decision. And that's so we want an integrated approach to really enable the CCOEs, and that's more than just security. I think if we keep security in a silo, we failed. So that's our approach. Is we're working on that data lake. We're working on a lot of the workflow and collaboration issues that enable the whole cloud team. The second thing I would say, sorry, were you going to interject?
I was just going to say, speaking of tools, what kind of AWS services can I keep using when I utilize CloudHealth?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a classic thing. I mean, we want to have an open hand, whatever the customer wants to bring to the table. So we love and applaud and use many of these services ourselves. I think one of the favorites, of ours and probably out in the market too is, GuardDuty. GuardDuty is a great service, to help me surface alarms. It gives me, indicators of compromise. Sometimes if you think, all I need to do is monitor network traffic. Well, GuardDuty has some access to information that no one else is going to, like DNS traffic, right? So we want to take that information and work with it and ground it and help customers get the context they need to really, investigate and make better decisions. Another service that integrating and having an open approach with is things like Security Hub with Amazon, and we have additional plans with Amazon Inspector. So really, we want to provide our own set of services and then work with all the Amazon services. So I would say that it's great. Customers should get started. I think there's value in their really additive value for the solutions that AWS provides. And generally, we take the same open approach that AWS is, making sure all of our data is API accessible and shareable and integrated both directions.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then speaking of CloudHealth Secure State, there is that notion I think I was looking at about smart cloud risk scoring. Something a little bit different, something cool and interesting. So I would love to hear a little bit more about that and how that kind of integrates into people's AWS accounts or into their solution.
Yeah, this topic excites me a lot too. I think risk scoring's been around in security. It's really a factor of trying to help people focus on the issues that matter most. And the field of cloud-based risk scoring or risk scoring in the cloud is not a well understood field, and it's new. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for innovation. Typically within tools that you see, I'll pick on the posture space specifically. So cloud posture management is basically going out and looking for misconfigurations and vulnerabilities in your cloud infrastructure. Usually it's driven by a set of rules. Maybe those rules have high, medium, low. Maybe there's 5 categories. And a rule can generate, across a vast cloud environment, you can have thousands of findings or 5,000 findings. I think in Amazon or in VMware, one rule we have generates like 20,000 findings. And so how do you differentiate, something across thousands of cloud accounts, within the same rule? Everything's marked high. And so, this opportunity for dynamic risk scoring is something that we've been pioneering that looks at like how central is this issue to my cloud account? What are the changes that have been happening that may want to factor this up and down? And so not just high, medium, low, but for every finding, helping me focus on those things that matter. And then kind of coming back to the guard duty example, we take feeds and indicators that come from guard duty and other feeds, and also can factor that into the risk scoring, and then turn data, pivot the data so that you can ask questions like, okay, of all my security groups that are out there, show me the ones that have the highest risk score. And we'll add all of the misconfigurations, the changes and the detection issues that we have. Maybe there's guard duty findings, and then we'll increment and we can say, hey, here's a spread of your 100 security groups. Here's the thing that you need to look at first. So it's really focusing organizations' attention on that and using the intelligence and heuristics we have to really elevate the things that matter.
Yeah, it's really easy to get alert fatigue, right? So, when everything is alerting you that it's all broken or it's all insecure, it's really easy to stop paying attention to those types of things. And I think too, and I wanted to ask, visibility into what's going on is important. But what about actually fixing some of the things that come up? What types of things can CloudHealth Secure State help me with actually remediating these at-risk things that you're mentioning?
Yeah, our goal is not to surface alarms. It's to actually make ourselves more secure and fix things. And I think the mantra that we use, and this is part of our driving force at VMware, both on the security team and the product side, is finding things quickly, speed of detection, the context and accuracy, that you give someone to investigate that, and the automation that you give them to respond. And automation is a tricky one. When I'm out talking to the market, I am shocked sometimes that customers can have visibility tools in place, and year 2, year 1, year 3 have almost no automation, security automations coming out of it. Like, they're not fixing things. And so it's tough because you have DevOps owners using their own tools. There's a question of, well, where should I fix this? Should it be in the pipeline? Should the security team automate it? So the short answer is, our goal is to provide a flexible, open, easy way that is DevOps friendly, and something that keeps in mind the enterprise security requirements. So for organizations that are just trying to build that trust, you can set up real-time notifications. So we detect these issues in real time and can get them to the right teams. You can go ahead and set up guardrails and auto remediation. So we allow you to provide automated fixes right inside of our infrastructure using AWS's great APIs to, once we detect, to return things to a healthy or desired state. And then we also handle these use cases that are tough, right? Like I've got a bunch of existing findings, and I don't just want to automate and change all these things. Maybe they were done by a Terraform template, and I don't want to create a state file issue, right? So we enable this ability to publish fixes, and the service owner can go in and click to fix or click to remediate or do it through some other means, and we validate it. So it's really handling a myriad of these use cases and giving the organizations the ability to track and automate how they're making progress over time.
Yeah, no, which is great. It makes things a lot easier. It sounds like. I did want to make sure that we had time to talk about Andy's keynote today, since we have the privilege of getting to have this conversation right after. So I want to make sure that we get to touch on anything that you thought was interesting. So anything from a security or partner perspective that kind of caught your eye?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, I mean, what a different experience this year, and kudos to Amazon for holding the event, and I really liked Andy's opening comments, both just recognizing the times and also just the business kind of culture practice of innovation, and I think that resonated with me as a leader. I think we're all kind of leading through this, and just kind of the idea that we need to be customer focused, the idea that really focusing on adding innovative solutions that solve problems at speed, and the courage that it takes sometimes to not just work with competitors, but to go through and make tough decisions. That's really great stuff. So like normal, I think Amazon had is going to roll out a dizzying array of announcements. I had the opportunity to listen to the first part of the keynote. I mean, one of the first things that just kind of, it always impresses me is the variety of options and the breadth. And so, the starting discussion around compute, I mean, there's just no doubt just how many options and how AWS has really continued to push the price and ROI equation there. So with the new Graviton 2 chips, the ML and learning processors and the 40% improvement there is just more indication of that continuing drumbeat. And I think that's important for customers to stay ahead. I think it's also important for CloudHealth because as customers get these new options, we want to help them realize how to best leverage them, how to really deliver not only innovation but optimize the top line for their business. So that's one key thing I think about the compute. I also really liked some of the discussions around ML and AI. I can talk a little bit that I think it's always important for security.
Yeah, we're running short on time here, actually. So I want to make sure that you've got my interest with CloudHealth. Where would you tell somebody like me to go learn more or get my hands on to CloudHealth? What would you tell them to go do? I think you all have a virtual booth this year at reInvent too. So maybe
So we're excited to talk with customers, and you can visit us at our virtual booth. We have that staffed. You can find out more information, of course, if you just Google CloudHealth, and CloudHealth Secure State is the product that I talked a little bit about today. It's really easy to get started with a proof of concept. We're also listed and a strong partner with Amazon on the Amazon Marketplace, so both around cloud management and security. So kudos to Amazon for just being a great partner, and I'm really looking forward to reInvent and talking with more customers here as you guys enjoy the event.
Yeah, I loved hearing Andy say that, one of the first steps on your cloud journey should be finding a partner, right? Finding an ISV or a consulting partner. I think that's truer words never spoken. So I really want to thank you, Jason, for joining us today. Marie, thank you for co-hosting with me. It's a privilege and an honor. Check out more Howdy Partner throughout this week and next. We'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as I said, at 3 p.m. Pacific with a new partner joining us each time. I've been AM Grobelny. I'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.